Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Indianapolis Colts. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you. Just a stone's throw from historic Monument Circle in downtown Indianapolis. We are at the beautiful Lucas Oil Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. The defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Down, 90 Wolf. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing
on 1st and 10, Hopkins. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A good, safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. And we look now at the offense for Indianapolis.
Ryan Kelly's a great example of how valuable centers have become in the NFL. A former first-round pick, he was plugged in immediately to be a starter to handle big nose tackles as well as blitzing linebackers, and also able to move and get out into the run game and get to the 2nd and 3rd level and deliver blocks.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Check. Lucky.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Looking to throw. Hopkins. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The starters defensively now for the Seahawks. They played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Let him know, let him know.
Now Saquon Barkley. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that right there is something we've seen, I don't know, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Here we go.
Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing is Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget, his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. On 2nd down, here's Penny. call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go. As far as defensive starters go, here they are for Indianapolis. And they're a unit that struggled some against the run, no doubt, coming in 25th out of 32 teams.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down.
Check 3, check 3. Got it.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now. As they get set to take over. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from
and nothing but daylight ahead. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Saquon Barkley hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And the division title out of reach. We know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
So it's just a matter of adjusting now, isn't it? And what I mean by that is mentally. Every team starts the season thinking, let's go for the number 1 seed, right? Being the top team. Number 2 is pretty great, too, because you get the opening bye, and you're at home after that. But it doesn't matter at this point. Just getting in, and you just sit down and talk to your team. Would you rather go on the road and deal with someone, or would you rather stay at home for the playoffs? Let's go on the road and go take someone out.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They go play action now. Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my. He pulled it in. 36 yards on the play. Sometimes the one-handed catches are unnecessary, but he was trying to ward off the defender with the other, so maybe that was just a good play.
So that tells you that not only do they imagine those types of catches, they actually work on them with defenders jostling them in order to keep their concentration and haul it in.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing on second down. Wilson, he lets it fly for Lockett. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
57. Mike, 57.
On third down, Wilson. And Jennings has it. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down, Seahawks.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at the Colts 17-yard line.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Touch 50, touch 50.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead them to fourth down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Whip, 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 whip. Watch the whip. Alert. 57's the mic. Watch 57. And we heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on fourth down. Wilson on the keeper. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on fourth down. Penny, a first down carry. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up first and goal.
Yeah, and some nice running right there. That's what got them the first down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They run it with Carson. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Stepping up, he'll try and run. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
Marr now to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let this go. He's got a man, complete. It's a gain of 35. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Rashad Penny. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Come on. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2. At the 31-yard line.
From the 31, Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Penny hit, and the ball is jarred free. And the Colts pick it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Good job, D.
Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
The end result, 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Let's go. 50, plant. Defense, let's go. Watch tight end. 4 down.
On second down, here's Barkley. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
Back to throw. Hopkins gets this out to Saquon Barkley. Now after the play, oh man, it's Barkley who appears to be shaken up. He's down. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Hopkins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down, Seahawks. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back.
Ready. 10-2 stop. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here. Speed grip.
Following the fumble recovery, Hopkins. That one complete to Wilkins, the running back. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
Go! 8 read. Check. Ready?
They'll run with the former Ole Miss Rebel, Jordan Wilkins. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Let's go!
Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime.
Go now. 30 base.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
Fight.
On first down, Hopkins nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
And tatter, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions. Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
I'm coming after you. Check 13. Check 13. Bud. 57 to Mike. Hey, orbit. Time to go night. Wide. Get wide.
2nd and 10. Looking deep for Jennings. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
On second down, it's Wilkins, and they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Some critical games going on as teams fight for those final playoff berths. Let's get you around the NFL here in a busy Week 16. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's 2nd and 8. And that'll be incomplete. Jeff Swain, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
50 seconds to Mike. Let's go, D.
He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We call it sack block.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
On 2nd down now, it's Wilkins. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. But just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hopkins. It's caught by Funchess. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 43.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. And it's 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. This is Wilkins. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
On third down. Hopkins. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sets up fourth down.
Here now, Brett Maher. He hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, it's still a good-sized lead, so they haven't necessarily needed him, but this is now 2 missed field goals for him in this game so far.
Yeah, and the question now is, will he be prepared when they do need him? Whether that's later in this game or sometime down the line, having a kicker you can count on is definitely imperative.
He'll buy some time right. And his throw here's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And that'll bring up second down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Check the backer.
Greystone travel.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Ready?
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Kenny Moore that time there on the coverage.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes and try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt.
Ready?
To throw from his end zone. Hopkins to the right side to Eric Ebron. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And, oh, that is going to be a safety. So the defense does their job. They get rid of that 0 on the scoreboard. Now we'll see if their offense can come to play.
Well, that's the way you get things started, right? Score yourself on defense, give the ball back for your offense, and tell them, let's go. We're in the game now.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. And this will be taken at the 13.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. And they'll run it again with Penny, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
Pilot, 64, weak. Go.
On 3rd down, it's Carson. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down.
Hey, Charlie.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
They'll try and throw for it here. Completes it to Jennings. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on 4th down. Now it's Penny. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
53 is the Mike. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
First down, Seahawks.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. This complete to Lockett. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. This quarterback now perfect. And he loses the football a second time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy?
Ready?
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 4.
Hey, Delta.
57's right. Hey.
5.
They'll look to throw. And it's caught. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Brandon Graham in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. Tyler Lockett with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance, as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now, to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. This defense really clamping down. Although they're losing the game still, this second half has been theirs.
And they're winning it. I almost equate it to being a boxer. And whenever you see a good fight, the guy who is on his toes and doing the punching, that's the guy who's winning. And that's the way they're going at it defensively now. Much more aggressive in their calls, much more aggressive in their pursuit.
The Colts on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Hopkins, short little throw to Ebron. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete.
Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Let's go now. Send Lobo.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Ready?
On the carry, it's Wilkins. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Last stop.
So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
57.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
At the 22-yard line.
Hey, check. Get it.
2nd and 9 now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 16. Now back to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. This is Jeff Swaim, the tight end. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Into the hands of his tight end, Jeff Swaim. The ball comes out, and this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery, but on 4th down, a change of possession anyway.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was trying to get it to Josh Malone, but now it's third down. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. The free safety Malik Hooker there in coverage.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
They're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
57's the Mike. 57's the Mike. You got
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Room here to run. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Campbell making the catch. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Call it no gain on the dump-off, and it's third down. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They run with Wilkins, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Now Brett Maher for the field goal try. This from 54 yards away. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Yeah, Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team. But the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. 2nd and 3. Open is Swaim, the tight end. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there, perfectly executed crossing route.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Kenny Moore. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And Hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
I got you, boy. Say go.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game.
Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long.
Out. 5 down. Stand up in. Let's go.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple, although I set you up by saying game balls, plural. But
I like where we're going with this, though. You say one to represent, like the best player of all of that. And I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So for Indianapolis, it's a good 5th win for them as they play out the string. And they'll get another home date next week as the Jaguars will come to town. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it's a loss that could wind up hurting a little as they fall now to 11-4. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.